If we could all rise and say the pledge. The flag is behind you here on the wall. I pledge allegiance to the Thank you. I would like to welcome everyone to the Monday, October 20th, 2025 meeting at the Mount Vernon Senior High School. We are first going to start with the recognition of delegations, and I do know we did it a little different tonight with the list, but if anyone is wishing to be recognized to speak on any agenda item or to be heard as part of the section of the agenda dealing with delegations or citizens' comments, they are to identify themselves by name and the point on the agenda where they wish to be recognized. So if there's anyone that missed that, there is a list going for that. Okay. Moving on to the tentative teacher agreement. So we will have public comment taken at the meeting pursuant to Indiana Code 20-29-6-19C regarding the ratification of the tentative teacher collective bargaining agreement, which is posted at the mvschool.org under the leadership tab. Is anyone here to speak on that? Okay, we will close out that part of the meeting. And moving on to the superintendent's contract extension public comments. So in accordance to the Public Law 148-2012, a hearing at a public meeting shall be held on the proposed superintendent's contract for board discussion and public comment. See the enclosed legal notice published on October 7th, 2025. Public comments regarding the contract extension may be heard at this time. Anybody wanting to speak?
I would like to say something.
Could you come up to the mic, please?
Oh. To say something as an educator, I know Mrs. Stewart, Dr. Stewart, for a long time because we work in the same school corporation, and she turned schools from zero to a very successful school with time. That's the key, time. And people, they want everything snap like this, and it's not going to happen as an educator. And I'm supporting her because I heard all those comments, as always, complaining and that she doesn't live here, that this and that. And, you know, she's very qualified. And the only thing that I want to say, we are lucky that we have her. And I know that I know her because she didn't know me. Mm-hmm. I know about her and what she did in the jobs. And we need to give time. And the I read is not perfect. Well, as an educator, I can tell you it will happen if you follow her directions. And that's what I want to say. Because people that I support, and I'm a taxpayer, I don't have kids here, but my kids, they went through this school. My husband taught here for almost 40 years. And she is one of the best superintendents that we have since 1994. That's what I want to say. That's
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone? I'm sorry?
Didn't identify her.
Oh.
Just see Lois. Go over and see Lois. There you go. Takes care of that.
Yeah. Anyone else on the superintendent contract? Okay. We are going to close out that section and turn it over our FFA presentation on farm to table event and other chapter activities. So FFA, you can take it over.
Yeah, turn.
Good evening. I'm Alicia Schmidt. I am the Ag Advisor and FFA Advisor for the Mount Vernon FFA. And I'm going to let my kids introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Thomas Gates, the Treasurer.
I'm Mason Johnson, the reporter.
I'm Wesley Hain, Vice President.
I'm Lewis Allen, the President.
I'm a Taylor Wolf Sentinel.
Marcus Ricken.
And tonight we're going to do a short presentation on everything that we do. So, ag education is a 3-circle model. That means classroom, SAE, which is supervised agricultural experience. That is a job that they have to keep records on, keep how much money they earn, community service hours, anything that they do, it can be research based. And leadership development, FFA, they're intracurricular, meaning they all work together. They're a 3-circle model. They are all equally important. We are the only youth organization that has a national charter through the United States government. We have over 1 million members. And in 2 weeks, we will be traveling to National FFA Convention, where there will be over 65,000 members in Indianapolis for the convention.
So a little bit about your FFA chapter here at Mount Vernon. We have 129 members. That's not duplicated because there's some people that are in more than one class. So that's singular people within an FFA class. We have 4 pathways through the school, one being vet science, another one being ag mechanical and engineering, and another one being agro science, like plant animals. And then we got horticulture too. And we also have the dual credit classes. Most of the ag classes are dual credits. There are 6 separate credits within the class. Some classes are 2. And then 45 FFA members. So within those ag classes, there are 45 FFA members present.
When it comes to the dual credit, I have almost 70 kids getting dual credit this year, free through Ivy Tech. Lewis said that some classes are worth 2. Principles of Agriculture, which is the very first class, is worth 6 credit hours. Kids get 6 credit hours for just coming and completing the class. And the Ag Mechanics is another one that is 6 credit hours.
We are a group of students who are focused on premier leadership, personal growth, and career success, and we're going to tell you some more about that.
What we do.
We go on a bunch of contests and different stuff. I'll be talking about the career development events, such as Livestock Skillathon, where you go, you have to ID different breeds of animals, or livestock rather. There's an industry test, you have to ID the meat, and then you have some food ID you have to do. Forestry, you got to ID the leaves of trees, the bark, and then there's a test, and you also have to know about the diseases and insects. Small engines, the last 2 small engines and welding are both a 2, or I guess you could say a partner team. You have 2 members on a team, and you go and you compete. Small engine, you have parts ID, tools ID. You got to know like what parts you're looking at, what tools they put on the table for you. You got to know the skills, and then you have 75 minutes to put an engine back together. It's completely disassembled. They got the bolts and some random buckets. You just got to put all that back together. You got to do owner's manual test and then a basic knowledge test. Then for welding, you got an industry test, and then you do MIG welding and stick welding. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And Wesley and Lewis 2 years ago were 3rd place. No, 3rd place state.
Yeah, we won the skills competition.
They won the skills competition in the state of Indiana for small engines. And there were probably over 100 kids there, and they had to qualify out of their district. So.
Okay. The other one is livestock judging. So you judge different breeds of animals and on market for breeding. So like goat, sheep, cow, swine, and then you have oral reasons that you have to give. And then there's poultry judging. You judge the eggs, product defects, the live chickens, and then you have a written test that you have to do. Horse judging. We competed in horse judging last year and did really well with 10th in state, and you have to know the conformation of different breeds and their different riding classes, and then you have to give oral reasons for the different classes. And then we also did milk quality and products. So you have to ID milk, cheese, and have a knowledge test, and then you have to ID the different milk defects.
The last 2 are crop judging, where you do seed ID, weed ID, disease, grain grading test, and an industry test. And the final one is dairy judging, where you do a confirmation of dairy cattle and then give reasons why you've ranked each animal.
And this is just a small portion of the career development events that are out there. I think there's over 35 different ones, and these are just the ones that we do currently.
I'm gonna scoot out.
Okay, that's fine. Here, I'll hold that.
Okay.
You wanna put
So
yours up here, Nick? There, all right.
So our first point is the Agri-Science Fair. Me and Talia Wolf traveled to India to compete at the state convention. I won my division, and the year before I also won. I'm ranked 15th in the country right now, and what my Agri-Science Fair project was about, we were testing the efficacy of calming supplements on mares. We're basically just seeing how well they work, and it's really important that we do that because stress is really big within the equine industry. It can cause really big complications, even with the horse's health and performance, and more. And that was this year's project. But going forward, I plan on doing another research project. I'm currently planning on applying for a large FFA grant. It can range anywhere in between $5,000 to $10,000. And what my project is about cancer detection in horses. Right now, they don't have liquid biopsies in horses. They do it in dogs. My project is kind of a stepping stone into that. Right now, we're just going to develop a blood test, and we're going to make it more sensitive to detecting really small amounts of ACTH, which is a hormone that horses produce whenever they're stressed. And see if that works. Theoretically, we would be able to create a liquid biopsy, and we can detect cancer earlier on. And that's my current project right now.
Pretty cool.
Okay, I did a 10-day project on testing fruit-derived wild yeast in sourdough starters, and mine's not in depth or cooler than Marcus's, but it was pretty it was pretty cool. So yeah, it was not very fun to do because it's basically like taking care of a child for 10 days because today, and then you have to do different measurements. Unfortunately, we didn't have high enough power microscopes to see the microbiology of the sourdough starters, but she basically went off of how big it got after you fed it and the different aromas that you had from it. And then I placed second at state with this project. So.
And the other points on the slide, prepared public speaking. You just have to give a speech. That's kind of it. But yeah, they just give you a topic to talk about, and you have to kind of just create a speech. And then demonstrations. This is one at the district competition, and they have it at state convention too. But I competed in demonstrations for animals, and basically we built a horse head, and we were demonstrating how to draw blood from the horse's jugular vein in its neck. And then for the essay, that's another competition you can do at the district level. And then proficiencies. So what a lot of people do after they do their research projects, SAEs is what we call them. They can apply for proficiencies. And so we have different proficiencies in placement and leadership. But basically, it's just giving them an award for having an outstanding business or growth skill set. And then
State degree. They have to NFFA. They have to start with a green hand as a freshman or this first year chapter degree, and then they can apply for their state degree. They have to have 3 years of ag or FFA membership. They have to actively invest or earn like 35, 25 service hours, have 5 leadership activities above the chapter level in order to qualify. And then it has to go through a review process. If they receive the, and after they graduate, they can then get their is actively invested or made 50 hours of community service, and like it still has to be the 5 leadership activities. 1% of all and potentially 4 applicants and
next point is the next gen conferences.
Wesley and Lewis.
Yeah.
Wesley and Lewis both
Okay,
attended these.
so the
both
next
went-
gen conferences, these are like a national conference through the FFA organization. So for like me and Wesley, the FFA chapter paid $100, and that includes our room, food, charter bus field trips, and stuff. I went on mine last year in September. I went to Salt Lake City. We flew out of Evansville, and then we went there. I toured a copper mine, and I also toured a state park there where they went in depth about the how they treat the buffalo there. They have a program and they have auctions with the buffalo. But FFA paid for everything. Like we ate 5-star meals, like everything 5-course meals, and like it's a real big thing. People from all over the United States. I know a kid from Delaware now, Oregon, and there's a kid in my trip from Puerto Rico.
It was $100 for him to go.
My conference was in Fargo. It was over emerging technologies. We stayed in a really nice hotel. They fed us every night. We went on a couple different tours. What?
Go.
We toured the Case New Holland facility. We toured John Deere, where they made the GPS systems. Cargill. At Cargill, they basically taught us, because Fargo is mainly known for like their soybean and not soybean, canola and sunflower. So they taught us about how they made sunflower oil and stuff. We got to sample different oils and like taste them and all that good stuff. We had like, they were called roundtable discussions. We got to sit down with some pretty big leaders in the industry. For example, the global productions manager for the Case New Holland 4-wheel drive tractors was there. That was pretty cool. We got to like ask him questions, like what's coming, or asking like any questions we had really. We had a couple different people from there, all that. So it was pretty cool. Got to meet some new people, learn a lot of new things, and like with Lewis, I think there was people from what was it, like 27 different states.
27 different states were represented.
With mostly the next gen conferences, there are a couple thousand applicants. Wesley's didn't have as many, but I had 4,000 applicants at mine, and they only take 70, so I got put on the wait list. But someone backed out, and they let me go. Wesley still had about 1,000.
So, we do have 3 applicants for the ones coming up, and we have a student engagement grant applicant that has already applied to help offset some of the costs. Not that it's great cost, but everything helps. So those are applications that they're having to go and fill out, answer all those questions, and get recommendations for.
Some activities we do fruit sales. That's a big fundraiser we do. Greenhouse sales. We go to National FFA Convention where we either get like rodeo tickets or concert tickets most time. They have an expo floor where we can talk to people within a company about like working there, because like it's all within the agriculture. Then we go to the leadership convention that's new this year. It's through the National FFA companies coming down, and they're going to host that at Gibson Southern, because Ms. Schmidt and the Gibson Southern advisor, they work together to put that together. We also have a River Days float and a Christmas Day float on Main Street. We also sometimes bring animals down to that Christmas festival. We also have a FFA week where we have spirit weeks all week, and then we always have like a movie night in the FFA room. And then we have Drive Your Truck to School Day on Friday, which is always a big event. And last year, Country Mark was kind enough to let us park all our tractors there so we could have like a convoy on the way to school. So it made it like a bigger event than people just driving their tractors and coming in from all the streets meeting.
We also got a police escort, so that was we're not traffic.
Our involvement, we park cars for the fair every year. We help mulch the courthouse in May. We donate any extra fruit, and I actually order a little extra in to cops for kids. That way we know that kids in December are getting fruit. It's always a big one, and my kids love the extras too. We adopt a kid at Christmas. We helped fill Easter eggs for Country Mark, and I think Wesley was the Easter bunny this year.
I was, yeah, I forgot about that.
St. Matthew's, their PCM, which is the preschool, they don't have anywhere for their moms to go, and we have this nice parking lot out by our room. My kids help unload it, and then they take care of the rest of it. We just help provide a place for it to go overnight, so that they have more time to organize it. And
now these are just like the written ones, like the ones that are set in stone every year. But sometimes the Indiana Farm Bureau Committee, they will call on us to like scoop ice cream or something at their events. Like there's always community involvement that like they're just calling on us to help them. Like a couple years ago, we had 2 14-hour days. We had to launch a duck for a conservation club over in Evansville. Like, so there's just stuff where people call us, but these are the set in stone ones.
Okay, we're gonna let Thomas talk about his big event this year.
Hi, I'm Thomas Gates, and I organize the Posey County Farm to Table. This event acknowledges the farming community, local agribusinesses, and individuals that support agriculture. I got the idea for hosting the Posey County Farm to Table from my dad, Patrick Skates, who started the White County Farm to Table in Carmine, Illinois several years ago, and I wanted to start one here. Proceeds from the event benefited the Mount Vernon FFA chapter, the Riverbend Food Pantry, Family Matters, and Mount Vernon High School Student Council. FFA members, National Honor Society, and National Junior Honor Society members helped serve the meal to each guest. August Sauce catered the dinner with appetizers and desserts prepared by the Posey County homemakers, while Ryan Rumsey provided live entertainment that received many compliments. The sold out event brought around 300 people to Main Street, creating a lively and welcoming atmosphere. In total, we raised around $23,000 after expenses. We were able to donate $7,500 to FFA to pay for annual dues, food, travel, etc. of a competition or convention. We don't want costs to keep someone from joining FFA. We also donated $2,500 to the food pantry, $1,500 to Family Matters, and $1,000 to Student Council to help provide children in need with Christmas gifts. We kept $10,000 in the account to cover next year's expenses and also to add to the event. More than just a meal, the dinner's goal was to bring the community closer, and I hope everyone left that night with new friends and a deeper connection to Posey County agriculture. We plan to have this event next year, September 10th, 2026, that turns into a long-time tradition to kick off River Days weekend. Thank you.
And then there's a couple of pictures from the last year. It's not very many of all the things that we do, but they're the ones I could grab really quick. So there's Leslie at his Next Gen conference, then mulching, and I just accidentally stopped sharing. And that's all we've got for you guys. Thank you very much.
Great job. Mhm.
So before they run off, I just want to say thank you to Alicia Smith for all the hard work she puts into this program. She absolutely pours her heart and soul into these students, and they are representing Mount Vernon in a great way. So thank you all for coming tonight and showing what you've done. Okay, we are moving on to routine matters, and we can take A, B, and C together.
Okay, we are presenting you with the minutes from the board meeting from October 6th. Also a list of vouchers and electronic checks electronic transfers, are enclosed. And then as well as the financial statement for September.
Okay. We have a motion to approve the minutes of the October 6th, 2025 meeting as prepared or as corrected. A motion to authorize payment of payroll checks 403-686 through 404-050, voucher checks 146-722 through 146-813, and electronic transfers ET-3307 through ET-3311 as recommended. Voided payroll and voucher checks not listed on the voucher listing in the above sequences are not approved for payment by this action. And also a motion to accept the financial statement for September 30th, 2025 and file it for audit.
So moved. Second.
Motion was made by Mr. Isaac, seconded by Mr. Williams. Any discussion? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion is passed. Moving on, there is no unfinished business, so we'll move on to new business, personnel.
We are recommending Katie Grant as a teacher assistant at Mars Elementary School.
Do we have a motion to confirm the employment from the list above?
Second.
Motion was made by Mr. Oath, seconded by Ms. Butler. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion is passed. Moving on to superintendent contract extension.
We had the hearing earlier, and we've had the proposed contract that's been published on our website for weeks now, and also in the paper, outlining what that is. So we would like to propose a contract extension.
We have a motion to extend the employment contract between Stephanie Stewart and the School Board of Trustees of the Metropolitan School District of Mount Vernon for a term commencing July 1 of 2026 and ending June 30th of 2029.
So moved. Second. Go ahead, Gary.
Motion was made by Mr. Williams, seconded by Mr. Oath. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion is passed. Moving on to educational meetings.
We are asking to approve Amy Burkett and Alicia Schmidt to attend with students the FFA Mission Conference at Gibson Southern on November 18th, 2025, and FFA is to pay the expenses.
Do we have a motion to adopt a resolution permitting personnel listed to attend educational meetings?
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Ms. Butler, seconded by Mr. Isaac. Any discussion?
Well, they come back and do an outstanding presentation. Oh, they're all even. They're all.
They're gone.
They're gone.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion is passed. Sunday use of facility.
Mount Vernon Elks Club is requesting use of the junior high auxiliary gym for their Elks hoop shoot, and this is an annual competition that they put on each year.
We have a motion to grant permission to the Mount Vernon Elks Club for the use of the junior high on Sunday, November 16th, 2025 for the hoop shoot as requested.
So moved. Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Oates, seconded by Mr. Williams. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion is passed. Okay, we are moving on to information and proposals, delegations, and citizens' comments. Bo, you have that list?
Yeah, and I apologize in advance if I butcher some names. So I think it's Karen Edwards. Karen? Yeah, if you wouldn't mind coming up to the microphone, and you have 3 minutes.
All right. So I'm Karen Edwards, and I'm a mother of an LGBTQ plus surviving adult. I'm author, podcast, and host of My Kid's Gay and I'm Okay, and I support the Pride Club here at the junior high. The number one thing, there was some statistics that ran in the newspaper a couple of weeks ago about, the high suicide rate, but nobody really addressed what could prevent it. And according to the Center for Disease Control, they found the contributing factors for the higher rate of suicide in the LGBTQ is bullying, harassment, and discrimination based on sexual orientation. Also, lack of acceptance by peers, family, and community. The most impact of taking these numbers down is social acceptance. So accepting adults, one accepting adult in life can reduce that number significantly. Families who support their children take that down by half. And then communities report less suicide attempts in the LGBT community when they're living in an accepted and supportive community. I wish this club, as a mom, I wish this club was on campus when my daughter was attending here. She struggled until she came to terms with her true authentic self, and it was in her early 20s. If you have a child who attended this club in support of another child, good for you. You've raised a kid with compassion and qualities of a true friend. My daughter started attending LGBTQ meetings in college, and she told me when I asked her, I said, "Why are you doing this?" She said, "Oh, it's to support my friends." What she didn't share with me was she had her own questions about her own self that she had had since kindergarten. So she knew that being attracted to the same sex for her was wrong because basically this town told her that. It's not. We need these clubs to support our kids, and without local clubs and community support, our children will find support online. And we don't know, every parent here will agree, we don't want our kids online finding support. We don't know who's on the other side of that keyboard. So if you think we need to dismantle all clubs to get rid of one club. The kids in the club aren't the problem, it's you. You're the problem. This action will contribute to the higher statistic of suicide ideation because of the lack of community support every member of our community needs. Stop your bigotry. It's disguised as religion, and work with the intent to include all of our community members, especially the LGBTQ plus members. As a community, we need to do better. We need to be inclusive and supportive to all of our members within our community.
Thank you, Ms. Edwards.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Karen Green.
My name is Karen Green, and I'm here to speak also about the LGBTQ plus club at the junior high, but I'm in opposition of it. She did speak a little about the suicide rates. It's 41% of LGBTQ plus youth seriously consider suicide in the past year. That was done in 2023, a survey, with rates higher among transgender and non-binary. If you have 10 kids in this club, then 4 of them are likely seriously contemplating suicide. Other 10-year-olds are not qualified to handle the depth of each other's mental health. You have one person on your staff who's very qualified. She has her LCSW. She also has a master's degree in counseling. I believe she should be utilized. I encourage you to remove this club and instead incorporate regular counseling sessions with only qualified individuals. I also want to add that this club is a sexual in nature club for children as young as 10 years old. I have a 10-year-old son. All he talks about is soccer, Fortnite, and talking me into let him drink Mountain Dew. And I believe we should continue to protect the innocence of our children. Thank you.
Thank you.
Matt Watson.
Yeah, no, thank you. Religion is not commensurate with
Thank you.
Andrew Sargent.
I'm Andrew Sargent. As many of you may know, I'm here again this evening to address the concerns of the LGBTQ and Friends Club and ask for the removal of the club. This is now the 3rd consecutive MSD school board meeting in which parents and community members have brought forth their concerns towards this club and have presented evidence as to how such club can be detrimental towards the mental health of the young children in attendance and or influenced by these types of clubs, including the shared statistics in which, Karen had mentioned the CDC 2023 Youth Risk Behavior Survey, which tells us that LGBTQ identified teens are significantly more likely to experience depression, anxiety, and suicidal thoughts compared to their heterosexual peers. Condoning complex sexual identity discussions among adolescent peers without the direct involvement of parents opens doors to confusion, peer pressure, and emotional influence during a very impressionable stage of a child's life. This isn't about hate or exclusion. It's about timing and protection. Conversations about identity and sexuality belong first and foremost in the home, where parents know their children best, where love and accountability are balanced, and where truth is spoken in a way that aligns with the family's values. Dr. Stephanie Stewart, you mentioned that if you were to remove this club, that you would have to remove all student-led or non-sponsored clubs from MVJHS due to the requirement of the Equal Access Act. I ask that you remove or put forth a vote amongst the school board members in regards to removing all non-sponsored clubs here at MVJHS. While you believe that there is nothing wrong with the club, I feel as though you should consider the concerns and opinions of the parents who have entrusted you with entrusted you and your faculty with the responsibilities of educating and shaping their children. Regis boards to consider whether this club belongs in Mount Vernon Junior High. Let's protect our children's innocence and focus on education, not early sexual identity exploitation. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Audrey or Andy Hain? Andy Hain.
Thank you. Appreciate that acknowledgement. Hold the timer a second. I wanted to thank Wesley Hain with the FFA. He came out to our shop. Actually helped me set up a welder, did better than I did. So there's a lot good going on there. Okay. There's some major issues coming to MSD in the near future. There's been unstable enrollment. 14 of the last 16 years, I think enrollment has been moving down. They've been out of MSD transfers. A lot of students, for whatever reasons, are going to other school districts, and homeschooling is on the increase as well. AI will continue to replace teachers at higher and higher rates. I think that's a jeopardized job as AI becomes more proliferated. Vouchers that follow students will proliferate in the 2026 school year and beyond next year. That's going to be a big drain, I think, on some of the monies. I think it's time that we stop following the drama and the legal imaginations of attorneys from all over the state. It's enough to make you question keeping your kids in this system. I'm requesting that you change the policy to include only clubs related to current school curriculum and sports. And we need to get beyond this. We need to move on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amelia Gonzalez.
Good evening. My name is Amelia Gonzalez. I am a mother of a child or two children in the junior high and high school. And I may not be as eloquent as some of the people that have spoken, but I am here in support of the LGBTQ club in the junior high, which my daughter does attend, which my daughter has had suicidal thoughts. And until the people in this room have been through what we've been through, they will never know what the support means of a club like that to students. So I thank you, school board, for making a place where all students can feel welcome. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lee Keidel.
My name is Lee Keidel. I'm here once again in regards to continuing allowance of the LGBTQ Friends Club, junior high. I'd like to remind the board what I said at the last meeting, that you are held responsible for God in this community, as to what is allowed in our schools, both during and outside classroom time. This ideology promoted by this club, namely transgenderism, homosexuality, is harmful and has destroyed many lives and continues to do so, especially those of impressionable young children. We've heard emotional arguments, but I urge you, don't be swayed by emotions. Emotions can be so fickle. Every cell in our body is a testament to who we are, male or female, and by definition, then man or woman. No amount of drugs or surgeries can change that. Transgenderism rejects objective truth. You can be whatever you feel like, is what we're told, but that does not work. We live in reality, not fantasy. There is such a thing as truth and falsehood. To allow a child to be whatever they want, whatever they wish, just because they feel like it, is lying to them. It is breeding into that lie. We are called to a higher standard. We have the responsibility to teach our children truth from lies. I've heard from others that some teachers in our district are actually displaying transgenderism and pride flags in the classroom. If this is true, it shows that this ideology has already deeply infected our schools and is causing a disruption in the educational process. As I said last time, if it's taken 4 years for this one club to finally come to light, what else is going on in our schools that we don't know about? I read the board policy this morning, and it talked about being transparent with parents. Is the school board being transparent with what's going on in our schools? How can we trust that you are doing what you've been elected to do? I know some are concerned about legal matters. I'm not really adding anything here. The Equal Access Act applies to secondary education. Junior high is not defined as that in Indiana code. Even if this was in high school, which I wouldn't be surprised if such a club does exist, I don't know. I would rather see all non-school sponsored clubs banned, thereby removing the limited open forum qualification outlined in subsection 4071B of the law in question. This could be done by repealing or editing MSD Board Policy 30302, as I'm sure you are well aware. You have the power to do that. Groups regarding athletics, band, theater, etc. are school sponsored, school initiated, and curriculum related, thus they would not be affected, including the FFA that we just heard a wonderful presentation from. I urge the board to do the right thing, ban this club, and ensure our schools are free from this harmful ideology and are places of learning centered on truth and not lies. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anthony Conrad.
I'm here to speak for the LGBTQ community in favor of keeping the club. As a father of LGBTQ kids, I know the pressures and the bullying and everything else that they get. They don't get much support even from their families. They constantly are ridiculed and told that they are wrong for being who they are. And a wonderful teacher has opened up a room to where kids can come and play cards with each other where they're not bullied and ostracized. We want to talk about statistics and not emotions. Let's talk statistics. According to the APA, the ASA, and also the, sorry, I'm a little worked up, National Library of Health, all of them say that an LGBTQ kid with one supporting parent, their suicidality goes down 50%. If they have a club or something social, you can find this on these 3 websites, 67% less. And when we go to the CDC and it says 19.7% of our LGBTQ youth are committing suicide, and you do the math, if we would give them 2 things, give them a club, a place outside the home, and support in the home, it would literally, if you do the math, bring it to the same. Non-queer kids and queer kids would have the same suicidality rate. Talking about emotions is crazy when you're just coming up here because of religious ideologies that people disagree with. You are willing to sacrifice people's kids to suicide based on your own ideologies. And I beg you, don't do this. As a father of LGBTQ children, I would not trade my children's life for the comfort of grown adults. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's bigotry. They can disguise it as godly or whatever. It is bigotry, and they don't give any concern for what is actually causing these suicides. That's it.
Thank you.
Devon, May, Shevin.
Hi, I'm Shevin May. My kids have gone to Mount Vernon schools for their whole entire career. My daughter's a senior, my son's a sophomore. I've never lived in a district. I'm not from here. I picked the school for a variety of reasons. I work at North Posey. They wouldn't allow a club like this. The club has gone for several years now. And I just don't know why all of a sudden it's an issue. We talked about the suicide rate, talked about how kids need a place to go. It's not hurting anybody. If you want to bring God into it, Jesus said, love your neighbor. There's nothing wrong with them meeting. You're not going to find anybody who wants to come to your school district if you enact, there's no other word for it, discriminatory policies. That is all.
Thank you.
Sally Julian.
Hello, I'm Sally Julian. Thank you again for letting me come and talk to this about this peer-led group. And I appreciate your time. The amount of negative attention to some of the community members have put on this issue is disheartening to me. To stand before this board and administration saying that the mere existence of this peer group of kids is disruptive to their children is appalling to me. And we all need to consider how much harm we're inflicting on the LGBTQ kids. Schools with active alliances experience lower rates of bullying, stronger connectedness, and improved mental health. And it's not for those just who identify as LGBTQ+, but it also fosters empathy, inclusiveness, and respect across the broader student body. Many of the opposing speakers in the past meetings have mentioned that the rate of depression and suicide is prevalent. Well, perhaps I think we all know why. When we villainize as a community these kids, this is why they want to jump into a hole and not come out. And I think that's very scary to me. It causes them to feel alone, and I don't know why we can't give them a peer group and have a safe, affirming space at school for them. I've heard so many voices say that they don't wish any harm and they would do anything for a child, but in the same breath and paragraph call these individuals evil and perverse. I've heard numerous references to God in the Bible as reasons, and first of all, consider that the Bible was translated for us by imperfect humans, and they're flawed. My God would never condone this rhetoric, and in fact, if Jesus were walking on this earth today, he'd be in that classroom with the LGBTQ kids and not trying to change them, but because he loves them. We are not the judge and jury. This is not a religious issue. As the administration and board moves forward, please know that allowing this club and others like it are a selling point for new families. I would want something welcoming like this for my kid. I wish it were here for my kid when he was here. If this community is not welcoming, I think people will move to different districts. Evansville offers that for their kids. Legally, in my opinion, this is non-issue. It's after school, not required, peer-led. They're playing cards. Again, you can't be harmed by hearing an announcement, and it's not going to turn your kid gay. So as a taxpayer, drawing the school district into a lengthy potential legal battle over this would be poor stewardship of our funds. So I thank you for allowing me the opportunity to voice my opinions, and please know there are just as many of us that are standing up for the LGBTQ as there are opposing it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, so that was 10. So we're going to close that part of the meeting. And I did want to acknowledge the fact that we have had, several meetings where people have come out and asked for the board's feedback on this and to make a statement. So I did prepare something for tonight, but I first want to start by just thanking everyone for your comments. Seeing a community care is really, encouraging in a lot of ways. There's a lot of passion here, and we do thank you for coming out and, using your words and telling us, your thoughts. So regarding the LGBTQ plus and friends group, as a board, we've continued to consult with our legal counsel, and our position remains the same. We will continue to allow student-led groups to utilize our facilities. If we do remove all non-curricular groups, this would include organizations such as Boys of Faith, Girls of Grace, Club Soccer, Swim, Paws Wrestling, and that's just to name a few. There are hundreds of students who benefit from these groups, finding connection, leadership opportunities, and support through them. Our responsibility as a board is to ensure that all students are treated fairly and equally, and that our district follows both state and federal law. We cannot and will not discriminate against any group based on belief, background, or their message. Our goal remains the same, to keep our schools a place where every student feels welcome, safe, and supported. So thank you all. Moving on to non-staff communications and reports. Nothing.
That's not.
And superintendent and staff.
Self-insurance fund continues to be healthy, and so we like to see those numbers going up. And then fuel adjustment chart that's just in there for you guys to see for our contracted bus routes.
And just an update on a couple things. We are working towards our first iLearn checkpoint in all of the schools, so we'll have some data to report to you guys soon after that's over, just on how we're progressing towards our goals, so our academic goals.
Okay. Moving on to future business, approved meeting dates.
Our next meeting date is November 3rd at 5:30, followed by December 17th. Oh, I'm sorry, December 1st and then December 17th.
November
7th.
I'm sorry. It's been a long meeting. Reverse. Okay, and we also have Staff Development Day on November 5th, with elementary dismissing at 12:50, junior high dismissing at 1, and our high school will dismiss at 1:10. And the board will be attending the ISBA Fall Regional Meeting. And that's all I have.
So with that, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.